Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Basement Arcana Behind the Screens. In this installment of Session 0, we are going to be talking about how to build your background.
I'm Hui, your not-so-average DM.
And I'm Skip, and I just learned what the word bellicose means. Now let's go!
What does bellicose mean?
Oh, yeah, we don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
I had to look it up. You should too.
I'll look it up too. I mean, I'll join you with you guys.
It's actually a word that's it's pretty interesting. I was listening to a book and it made me look up a word, so that's how you know a book is boring.
So reading is good. Read.
Anyways.
That's
it. Yes. Okay, so now we are back, and if you recall, last time we started with the character creation, rolling stats, picking out your race, your class. It was
kind of an overall
basis
of character creation.
Yeah.
Like an intro to Session 0, as we titled the last one.
Yes. Now, we're going to take the character development a little bit further, and we are going to flesh out a little bit more of a backstory just to give you guys a small example of how easily it can be done. So we're going to start out with, we've got ourselves a bugbear barbarian named Chut Rudness. Chut Rudness
I think we're going to be starting a bugbear.
Oh my god, dude. Reading up on the bugbears, man. Listen, if you're going to do it, build a bugbear barbarian. You'd be surprised at what kind of cool stuff you can do. Anyways, Chut Rudness is a male bugbear standing 6.5 feet tall, and he is 26 years old. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put him in Hui's world. So, first off, we're going to pick a city. Hui, what city do you think in your world? First let's do this. Give a quick overview of your world. Just a brief kind of roundabout description of the stakes, I guess, that are in this
the world is in
right
now. So, they all started off, the Amalgam War happened about 500 years ago. And the Amalgam was summoned due to demons and fiends coming together and summoning this, using parts of their power to summon the Amalgam.
Akira style.
Really very Akira inspired. And he began to just cause absolute destruction, wreaking out from the center of my world, Palsadra. After a lot of coming together with the most powerful mages and sorcerers, they joined their powers together and were able to seal him away in a crystal in the center of an island. Once that happened, the world kind of came back to a normalcy, and all the races together, which had previously fought, Exfalia and Pentagren, opposite sides of a major ocean that's there, were constantly in warring states. Now they are in normal. They work together very well, and
kind of have to with a world.
with a world being destroyed, entity. They had to come together during the Amalgam War to really fight back against the Amalgam. So now it's somewhat of a peaceful time in Palsadra in the current time period, and The called have been called. They have sometimes the called and, will get a call. Skip's character Frick is one of such individuals.
My best dude.
Yeah. And now there's been signs of the Amalgam reawakening. The crystalline powers holding him in place have begun to shatter. So the bugbear, Chut Rudness. Is from a small kind of village, mostly right along the coast in Exfalia, that you guys had actually approached during one of your adventures. It's a lot of orcs live there, goblins and whatnot.
What city was it again?
Pelside.
Okay.
Or Nelside, I'm sorry.
Nelside,
There's Pelside and Nelside. They're kind of closely...
That was bottom...
Yep, Pelside is more towards the ocean. Nelside's a little bit more towards the forested portion. The small...
New Vulcan was is right next to it, walking around.
So, New Vulcan is a giant kind of steampunk-inspired city that is on, like, think of Howl's Moving Castle.
Yep.
Very inspired by that as well.
Yeah.
It's like giant moving gears. It's a city that moves across the continent of Exfalia that's very flat to begin with.
So, world building, I think we'll get into that maybe at a later episode, and I just caused a little bit of shock to the mic, so sorry about that. Outside of that, describe Nelside a little bit.
Nelside is a kind of it's not like a shanty city by any means, but orcs don't like to make things very extravagant, and it being a mostly orc centered city, it's very rudimentary buildings, not ramshackle, but kind of built together, all wood. There's some like kind of stone and mortar type of structures, but for the most part, it's your kind of basic kind of stop along the trail kind of.
Okay.
It's no city by any means, but a well enough made town.
Sure. So now we've got our Chut Rudness official character sheet, right? We got our stats up top. Sorry, on the side. We got, you can look at it. It's fine. Anyways,
hit the pause button.
So
it's helpful.
What we're going to do is we're going to skip right over that, because if you're making characters, you've already been looking at nonstop, guarantee. Yep. What we're going to do is move on to the backstory side of things. You're going to be looking at personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws, and, your character's backstory. So, as far as Chut Rudness, here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This guy is a professional bowler, or a wannabe professional bowler, and he's working his way up through the ranks.
Okay.
Right? He's working his way up through the local bowling alleys. Right? But he hustles the wrong guy.
No.
He hustles the wrong guy. And he can't pay up, and he welches on a debt. So he loses his bowling hand. They cut his bowling hand off.
A bugbear with a hook hand?
No. It's a bugbear barbarian with his bowling ball as a club arm.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning damage forever.
Boom, boom, boom.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So, now, in order to pay back this debt and any interest that he's accrued over the time that he's been unable to pay it back, he has to take on odd jobs.
A mercenary of sorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like
how about that?
I love it.
Until he can pay back whatever he needs to pay back. And that, my friend, is how he becomes an adventurer. Now, knowing this, I'm going to ask you what his personality traits are. And keep in mind, we're doing this on the fly too, so,
this is
there might be a couple ums and ahs, but I think we'll come up with something cool. Character traits, go!
I think that Chut was a very solemn person coming up, very drawn back, and I think that's what brought him to bowling. It was something he could do by himself. And once he began to get into the bowling alley, he started getting, involved with other people, and it kind of brought him out of his shell a little bit. And as he got out of his shell, he started making small bets with his friend group, and
sure. One does.
It went on from a small bet like, oh, watch this, I can get a strike, or watch this, I'll get those two on the right side.
Mm.
And it eventually turned into from a friendly wager to a stiff competition.
Oh, he got cocky.
He got cocky.
Oh,
And
okay.
as he got older, that came out, and that extreme competitiveness started to get him into some darker rings,
Mm-hmm.
and it hardened him. It made him have to be a little bit less drawn back and more of a stout kind of assertive person,
Okay.
where he had to stand for himself. Where maybe I think Chut maybe started going to the gym a little bit, like hanging from some branches and doing some pull-ups and push-ups, getting himself a little.
There was pull-ups for me too.
Yeah,
not pelvic thrust.
pelvic thrust. So I think he really just that competitiveness is what drove him into becoming more of a jacked bugbear.
Yeah.
And where he kind of probably where he probably came in touch with barbarian lifestyle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think that he was it drove him to have a more just like muscle man kind of mentality.
Sure. So that would lead into his ideals, right? So if he was a smaller guy, right, and then he came into his power, we can go one of two ways. We went the cocky route with it, right? So now he's got this power. And his ideals are a little skewed.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this is
he can do what he wants because he's got the strength. Now he's got this bowling ball arm, club hand, and when he wants something done, who's going to argue with him? No one. That's who. I'll tell you. Yeah. Hammer Chut. Right down. Right. So I would say he's probably a chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think he jumps the gun a little bit.
A little bit out for himself, maybe.
A little bit out for himself, but he's not trying to hurt people.
Right.
Nor is he really on the path of righteousness and
Sure.
trying to do the best, which is neutral in its kind of basis.
Perhaps he lost his hand and his family's in danger until that debt is paid off.
Yeah, he could have. His family has been threatened.
Not be doing great things
but it's for the better.
Yeah, to pay off
Of
this
his
debt.
family.
So there you go. That would take us into bonds.
Yeah, and I mean, we just covered alignment. We didn't even really mention that in the beginning. Alignment is something that, I mean, is definitely a great character building backstory concept.
Sure. But that moves us right into bonds. So what? Now he's doing whatever he can in order to save his family. That's his bond.
His bond is his family.
Yeah.
And he will go to whatever lengths it takes in order to secure getting that money to pay off that debt to make his family safe.
Yes, with his fucking bowling
ball fist of righteousness.
Fucking smash. Now, every character, doesn't matter who you are, every person, every race, every class has flaws. What are some of Chut Rudness's flaws? I have one.
Start us off.
He won't turn down a bet.
I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, he started with that competitive idealism.
But now if someone challenges him, I bet you can't do this. Oh, man, that competitive streak in him just fires up.
And that'll get him in some tough spots because he's trying to make this money, but he'll bet because he can't turn it down.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that a lot.
That's pretty good. This character is great.
Great already.
And, I mean, to be honest with you, there's different things you can add to it. You know, what we went through, the personality traits, ideals, flaws, bonds, all that stuff you can come up with on your own, or there's the section in the
Player's Handbook
where you can roll for flaws, whether you're rolling a D10 or a D6 for your flaw or bond or what have you. I think if you have a compelling enough backstory, you can find the flaws of your character without within that little bit.
I mean, we're
backstory.
fleshing this on the fly, and we've been able to come up with flaws, bonds, everything, just like that. And I mean, we're going back and forth, which is a little bit easier to communicate with somebody, obviously, to figure something out. But I mean, if you have a basis of your backstory, it's easy enough to come up with some bonds and flaws. And I mean, you don't have to. You can flesh them out as you go, starting from level session 1 of your campaign. But I think it is a really good idea to get these things figured out because it helps to build the character itself.
Absolutely. And it's a lot easier for the DM to work with what you're giving them as a way to work them into your idea of the story arc. Yeah. Right? So you have a person who, Chut Rudness is a former amateur bowler on the rise in the professional league, right? But then
hits a rough patch.
And there's a little bit of play to work with here. So maybe maybe at this point the DM's like, all right, so who did he make this bet with, and who did he cross? Yeah. Maybe it's some huge underground syndicate that reaches from city to city.
And from a DM standpoint, that's what makes it really easy for us to be able to pull you into what we're trying to do as a main storyline. I mean, one of these people you could have gotten involved with could be greatly influenced, like you said, as a syndicate that could influence the main storyline itself. I mean, these are all little things you can think of that can really progress your character's backstory into the story itself.
DM might pull you aside and be like, okay, well, would your character do this? Or would your character do that? And sometimes to me, those are like the fun little bits where you pull a player aside and you're like, all right, so I have this idea. How can we work it into your backstory to make it make sense as to why this is happening over here outside of the group of adventurers that you're traveling with right now? Right.
Back to flaws, though, real quickly. Yeah. I think one other flaw that Chut has is he doesn't like pain.
Ooh.
He doesn't like pain. I mean, he grew up solemn and drawn back, so the only thing that brought him into getting jacked was just the group that he was around. So, yeah, he got big, he got strong, but that little Chut inside of him never really...
Little baby Chut
never really grew up. So
little
when he gets actually hurt, I think it really affects him.
It sends him into a rage. Holy shit, this shit's coming full circle, man. Oh, I love it.
So I think, I think that works perfectly.
Yeah. And we're having fun with this right now, but your backstories don't necessarily have to be crazy. Just remember that it does help your DM bring your character into the fold a little bit easier. Where if you have something where one of my players, right, he's just like, my character's just looking for a bag of holding. That's it. That's all the character wants. So to bring him in and develop his character in any sort of compelling way, luckily he rolls like shit when people wipe their hand in their ass and smear it on their fish, and he doesn't perceive it. Yeah, Constitution saving throws.
Honey poo-poo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes too. But I think we pretty much touched on everything we needed to for a basic rundown of backstory here.
Yeah, I mean, we hit all the points of flaws, bonds,
character appearance and alignment,
all the others. And
I gotta stop doing this too. I notice I do that a lot. If it bugs you, too bad.
I do stuff like that too. Trust me, it sucks, but it happens.
Yes.
But one other thing that I'd like to touch on quickly, as we were saying before about we're having fun with this, and clearly this character is a over the top, have fun with it kind of character. But I mean,
he's all yours if you want to bring him in.
You want to bring him into your party. You want to, you want to take
that's
on
a good idea.
Rugness,
That's a good idea. We can put in a character like a downloadable character sheet.
Yeah, I mean, we can do something like that.
Eventually. I don't know how we're going to work that in.
We're working on things right now, but I mean, it doesn't always have to be something fun and crazy and
it could
whatever
be dark
type of character. I mean, my character is primarily, I'm a happy person.
Yes.
In real life, and I enjoy life. So considering D&D is a fantasy game, sometimes I try to take that darker route in my characters to live out that fantasy. So I mean, if you want to go with the darker route, I mean, go for it. Dark routes are great story builders, especially easy for DMs to take something from that. So I mean, don't veer from either one or the other. Just make something that's fun for you.
One point I would like to make, though, is that when you do create a character and you start playing them, it's very easy to play as yourself and not the character. Mm-hmm. And yes, this is a role-playing game, and being your first time, you might go in thinking that, I'm playing how my character would play, but are you? Yeah. Are you really?
You got to take a step back and look at it. I mean, I've seen so many people that are so obsessed with role-playing and end up role-playing their own lives through the game. I mean, if they're having fun, then just let them do it. Let it fly. But I thoroughly appreciate a person that, as a GM, I thoroughly appreciate a person that really comes through portraying their character and their backstory.
Ditto. Cool. I think that'll do it for there. Couple things though. Mm-hmm. What do you think of our new set business? Huh?
Yeah, we decided to move out of the tattoo shop and into the basement.
Yeah, kind of pushed out. Also, Cyndi Lauper, man, yo, girls just want to have fun. Goonies are good enough. Point 2, I don't know if you guys noticed this business right here.
It's a pretty business right there, Skip.
Right, isn't it?
Talk to me about it.
So, what we have here is...
There we go.
There we go. We got the shaky going. We have a little... Oh, well, you got it this time. Oh, look at that. It is a potion bottle. And what do we get? We just got 7, 9, 11. Ooh, 15 points back?
That's a good health potion right there. I'll tell you what, bad.
I'll take
that any day.
Yeah. So would I. Now, the thing is, would you like to take it home?
It could be yours.
We're doing our first little giveaway, and the winner will get this little potion jar, as seen here, plus this little decorative chest that's gonna come along with it. You can set your potion bottle right on the inside here. I'm gonna just do that. I didn't close it up too well, but
it looks great.
Oh, look at that. Look at that business.
Handmade, for the most part.
Yeah, well, we'll call it that.
You made the dice.
No. Oh, I bought the dice, god damn it. Anyhow, this will be up for grabs. What we need you to do to win it, though, is to go to our Instagram page. We will make a post. We will have you like said post. Give us a follow.
Give us a follow, obviously, please.
And tag 2 friends who might want it. And we will
do whatever.
We'll pull a name at random.
Yeah.
And whoever wins will get this. And we, in the post, will come up with a draw date.
Yeah, we'll get a draw date out on that time. I mean, we haven't had anything fleshed out just yet, but
we'll announce the winner on one of our upcoming episodes. and let you guys know. Outside of that, man, thank you for watching.
We appreciate it greatly.
Follow us on Instagram, basement_arcana, and do the little thing like follow, tag people to win this nifty little thing. We're going to have more things coming up. Also, YouTube, you're already here. You know where we're at.
Yep.
And then,
subscribe,
leave a comment.
Like,
subscribe,
every
share.
little bit helps. I mean, YouTube's algorithm is...
Shoot us an email or something.
Yeah.
basementarcanacast@gmail. And then, well, fuck.
I mean, if you shoot us an email, it's a lot easier for us to understand what you guys really want to see. Even in the comments on YouTube, any of that kind of stuff, feedback really helps us to know what you guys want to see. I mean, we're making up videos.
Perhaps, just perhaps, you want to see a little green inflatable alien somewhere in here eventually, just chilling on the couch.
Maybe floating around doing a couple circles.
Yeah, maybe Ben can add it in post, and if not, well, we can eventually. Who knows? Oh, fuck. We got a Patreon, too, so we're going to do stuff with that eventually as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're just rambling at this point. We got to shut the hell up.
We love you. So we both see at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. He's like He was like, there's still 3 more stages I need to sharpen that to. Like, imagine how badass that blade's gonna be when it's fucking...
Does he think, are we supposed to be going now?